You felt it recently. That moment when everything went completely still and your body registered something your mind couldn't name yet. Maybe you were standing in your kitchen, or sitting at your desk, or walking down a familiar street. The world around you fell silent for a few seconds, and something shifted. That stillness hasn't left. Small things keep happening that you almost mention to people, but then don't, because they sound insignificant. A stranger said something that answered a question you'd been turning over privately. A book fell open to a page that contained exactly what you needed to read. Someone canceled plans that freed up space for an opportunity you didn't know existed. You're standing in the eye of something massive. The winds haven't hit yet, but your nervous system already picked up the frequency. Most people spend their entire lives in this exact moment and miss it completely. They're drowning in daily noise, conditioned by years of disappointment to expect nothing, so focused on cataloging problems that they completely overlook the universe assembling victory around them. You're different. You sense something, which is why you're here right now reading these words at this precise moment. What I'm sharing comes from decades of studying people right before their lives transformed completely. Peak performers, breakthrough moments, the specific sequence of events that shows up right before someone's entire reality reorganizes itself around success. These patterns follow predictable architecture. Once you understand the sequence, it becomes impossible to ignore. People talk about being in the right place at the right time, about luck favoring the prepared, about overnight success built over 20 years. What they never explain is the specific sequence of events that precedes every major breakthrough, the telltale signs that victory has already locked onto your coordinates. Think about the last incredible thing that happened in your life, something you'd been working toward or hoping for. Now think back to the weeks leading up to that moment. There were signs, patterns, little hints that something was building beneath the surface. You probably dismissed them at the time, wrote them off as meaningless coincidence. The final phase before a major breakthrough begins with systematic dismantling. Everything starts falling apart, not in a catastrophic explosion, but in careful deconstruction of everything that's been holding you back. Relationships that no longer serve you begin naturally fading. Opportunities that seemed critical suddenly lose their magnetism. Old patterns of thinking that used to make perfect sense start feeling foreign when they move through your mind. Life is clearing the deck for something bigger to land. Most people panic here. They try holding on to what's dissolving, interpret the dismantling as evidence they're moving in the wrong direction, when it's actually proof they're moving in exactly the right direction. The second thing that happens is amplification. Everything in your life becomes more intense. Your emotions feel deeper. Your intuition becomes sharper. Conversations carry more weight. Even mundane experiences seem layered with hidden meanings. Your consciousness is expanding to match the magnitude of what's about to manifest in your reality. During this phase, you might find yourself having vivid dreams, waking up with solutions to problems you didn't even know you were working on, having conversations with strangers that feel strangely significant, finding resources that seem to speak directly to your situation. These are confirmations, the universe letting you know you're on the right track. Then comes the third phase. You start receiving preview experiences, little tastes of the success that's coming. Maybe you get a small win in an area where you've been struggling. Maybe someone recognizes your talent in a way that catches you off guard. Maybe you have a moment of clarity where you can see exactly how everything is going to work out. These preview experiences serve a specific purpose. They're building your capacity to receive and handle the full magnitude of what's heading your way. Major breakthroughs require a different version of you to sustain them. The person you were before the breakthrough wouldn't know how to handle the person you become after it. The fourth phase separates those who break through from those who stay stuck forever. Right before your victory arrives, life presents you with one final examination. This confirms you're ready. that you've truly integrated the lessons you needed to learn, that you've become the person who can hold what's about to be given to you. This test rarely looks like what you'd expect. It shows up as a situation that requires you to demonstrate the exact qualities you've been developing throughout your journey. Courage when you'd rather hide. Faith when logic suggests otherwise. Patience when everything inside you wants to rush. Authenticity when it would be easier to pretend. Most people fail this final test because they don't recognize it as a test. They think it's just another obstacle, another delay, another reason to doubt whether their breakthrough is really coming. Those who understand the pattern, who recognize the test for what it is, they pass. And that's when everything changes. The fifth phase is the cascade effect. Once you pass that final test, once you prove to yourself and the universe that you're ready, the floodgates open. Success starts showing up faster than you can process it. Opportunities multiply exponentially. People start seeking you out instead of you chasing them. The cascade effect transforms you internally. You become a different person. Someone who naturally attracts the things you used to have to chase. Someone who operates from abundance. Someone who trusts the process because you've seen firsthand how perfectly orchestrated everything really is. If something inside you is nodding along with quiet recognition, then you need to understand what's happening to you right now. You're receiving this information precisely when you need it most. This is part of your cascade effect beginning to unfold. Right before your breakthrough fully manifests, you're going to face the final resistance. Your old identity makes one last desperate attempt to keep you exactly where you are. It shows up as doubt that feels more convincing than any doubt you've ever experienced. It whispers that you're deluding yourself, that you're reading meaning into meaningless events, that you should be more realistic, more practical, more like everyone else who settled for mediocrity. This resistance is so sophisticated it will use your own wisdom against you. It will make logical arguments for why you should abandon your path just steps before you reach your destination. The people around you might start acting differently too. Some will become uncomfortable with your transformation without being able to articulate why. Others will try pulling you back into old patterns of thinking and being. They're responding to the energetic shift happening within you. Your evolution challenges their stagnation, and that makes them unconsciously want to keep you at their level. Most people give up here. When the pressure feels too intense, when the old ways seem safer, when the unknown feels too uncertain, they retreat back to familiar territory just days or weeks before their breakthrough would have arrived. You're still here. You've made it through all the previous phases. You're feeling that deep resonance with these words that tells you this is your truth being spoken back to you. Expect the resistance. When it shows up, recognize it as confirmation that you're closer than you've ever been. The resistance is always strongest right before the breakthrough, because that's when the old version of you is fighting hardest to survive. Remember that this resistance comes from within you. It's the part of your psyche terrified of change, even positive change. It's trying to protect you from the unknown, but it's actually protecting you from your own greatness. Use this resistance as fuel. Every doubt, every fear, every logical argument for why you should quit becomes energy you can channel toward your breakthrough. The intensity of the resistance is directly proportional to the magnitude of the success that's waiting for you. Time starts behaving differently during this final phase. Days feel like weeks. Weeks feel like months. But also moments feel eternal. You're existing in multiple timelines simultaneously. The timeline where you're still becoming, and the timeline where you've already arrived. This temporal distortion gives you time to fully integrate everything you've learned, to become comfortable with the idea of being successful, to start seeing yourself as someone who naturally attracts victory instead of someone who has to fight for every small win. You're rewiring your identity at the deepest level. During this time, you might find yourself having experiences that feel almost prophetic, conversations that seem scripted by the universe, Encounters with people who say exactly what you need to hear. Finding yourself in situations that feel like they were designed specifically for you. You're being shown that the path you're on is divinely orchestrated. You start becoming a magnet for other people who are on the verge of their own breakthroughs. The people entering your life now are different. They're more aligned with your vision, more supportive of your growth, more excited about your success. You're vibrating at the frequency of victory. That frequency naturally attracts others resonating at similar levels. The conversations you have during this time will feel different too. Deeper, more meaningful, more solution-oriented. You'll find yourself speaking with a certainty you didn't know you possessed. Making decisions from a place of knowing rather than hoping. Acting with a confidence that surprises even you. Your new identity is emerging. The person you're becoming is starting to take precedence over the person you used to be. This new version of you expects success because you understand that it naturally flows to those who align themselves with the principles you've been mastering. If you're recognizing these patterns in your own life right now, if you're feeling that unmistakable sense that something massive is building beneath the surface, then you need to understand what this moment represents. This is the culmination of everything you've been working toward, learning from, and growing into. The dismantling, the amplification, the preview experiences, the final test, the cascade effect. These are part of one unified process designed to transform you into someone who embodies success so completely that it becomes as natural as breathing. Your victory is coming because of the challenges you faced. Every setback prepared you for this comeback. Every moment of doubt strengthened your faith. Every time you almost gave up but didn't, you proved to yourself and the universe that you're ready for what's about to unfold. The signs are all around you right now. The synchronicities, the unexpected opportunities, the people entering your life, the clarity emerging from what used to feel like chaos. These are confirmations. The universe is preparing to deliver everything you've been working toward, and it's giving you these signals so you'll recognize the moment when it arrives. Your breakthrough is already moving toward you. Right now, while you're reading these words, mechanisms you can't see are clicking into place. Conversations are happening in rooms you've never entered. Decisions are being made that will create openings for you. Resources are being freed up that will flow directly to you. People are thinking about you, who will soon reach out with exactly what you need. The architecture of your success is being assembled behind the scenes, and all of it is timed to converge at the precise moment you're ready to receive it. You've been preparing for this your entire life. Every skill you picked up that seemed random at the time. Every connection you made that didn't seem significant. Every experience that felt like a detour. All of it was building toward this moment. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was accidental. You've been gathering tools and wisdom and capacity for exactly what's about to unfold. The version of you that exists 6 months from now will look back at this exact moment and recognize it as the turning point. The moment when everything that had been building beneath the surface finally broke through. The moment when the preparation phase ended and the manifestation phase began. The moment when you stopped hoping for your breakthrough and started living it. Watch what happens in the next 72 hours. Pay attention to the people who contact you out of nowhere. Notice the ideas that drop into your consciousness fully formed. Observe the opportunities that present themselves in unexpected ways. Keep track of the synchronicities that feel too precise to be random. These are the first visible signs that the cascade is beginning. Your nervous system will recognize them before your mind catches up. You'll feel a particular sensation in your chest, a kind of opening or expansion, when something aligned appears. That's your internal guidance system confirming you're on the right track. The breakthrough phase operates on its own timeline, and that timeline accelerates exponentially once certain conditions are met. You've met those conditions. The preview experiences you've been having, those weren't accidents. They were the universe testing your readiness to receive. You passed those tests. Now the real delivery begins. Your breakthrough is inevitable. It's closer than you think.